lost in the pantry pick. You've lost 32 minutes. 58 minutes is what you have to make a real truck-worthy dish.
But both of you, it's time to face off. And your time starts
now!
I'm making a pan-seared spiced chicken breast on a bed of poha and cream mash, which is flavored with lemon zest and a little spices. And I'm making a spicy guava ginger sauce with it and a little bit of garnish with a few little herbs that I have. So that's my dish for today.
I'm doing a very simple curry that's just turmeric and pepper is the main flavor. Pepper mostly. It's a pepper curry. To do a starch, I'm doing a poha crisp, or my backup will be crispy fried poha, chicken rolled and cooked in the curry, and orange salad of sorts to give some citrus.
Suhi.
Hi, Juhi.
What's going on?
I'm making a pan-seared chicken breast. This is spiced with some balsamic and a little guava juice to tenderize it, as well as to add some flavor in the chicken as well. I'm making a spiced guava ginger, not jam actually, sauce. I wanted to make a jam, but that's when Tanisha and I were a team. So that was a whole different dish. And I think we panicked, even though we took the most amount of time to pick up our ingredients, because we've had the most odd pick of ingredients ever. So it's almost like a mystery basket for us. So we're working with whatever I have. We picked up poha, except there's no other starch. So I'm doing a poha mash, citrus mash sauce, spiced citrus mash on the bed. I'm gonna put the chicken on top, and I'm gonna do the spiced ginger guava sauce with it. In herbs, we have no vegetables at all.
Yeah, that's great. You know, that's why I say you girls don't love you don't love your veggies, do you?
I don't.
Yeah, it shows.
But I can see some olives and I can see
Yeah, so
some
I'm just gonna do a
cheese.
small little cheddar. We only have cheddar, which I don't think will go too well with guava. So I'm not going to use it today. But I shall taste it.
Yeah.
I shall taste it together
It's a peppery
once.
cheese. It's a slightly peppery cheese. Yeah, I wouldn't say it doesn't go with guava. I just feel you need to balance the guava out.
I shall do
I
that.
mean, if
and
I
we'll
was in
taste
your
it.
place, I would try and use more of the ingredients that you've got in your basket. That's what I can see. You could even do an olive and cheese, which you could stuff, or you could use that in your poha. I think all these flavors go along really well.
Yeah.
So I
I'm gonna do my
think
best.
they could work. Don't think of it as, you know, it being all very different. Try
Yeah.
and come up with some interesting combinations. That's what you want to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Thank you. So I'm trying to stick with the basic flavors that I know and make something out of nothing. So I'm going to treat it as if I'm going to make this dish for the first time, which I am. So I had this little doubt in my head if cheddar cheese, which I have in my basket, works with guava. And I did think about it that I would like to try it together. And the chef suggested I should, because it's a peppery cheese, and I think I'm going to go with it. So that can add another element to my dish. So I'm very happy at the moment that, you know, that's happened.
Hello. Hi.
How's it going?
So far, so good. Just as I had planned and organized it in my head and I put it down in my notes, I'm going according to that. So I should finish on time and hopefully everything works out.
What do we have
Are you
here?
baking a crisp or?
Yeah, I'm trying that out. Of course, we did not think like the others we're going to do this dish.
Right.
The only thing we kind of thought was the guava, which is why we picked that up. But otherwise, that's the way we work. What's there in the basket, we're treating it as a mystery box kind of.
Nice, nice.
So-
That's interesting.
Yeah, again, I want to bring out my Khasi flavors and show that even a simple meal can be plated fancily and can
course.
be elevated.
Right.
So what are you making?
Which is normal Khasi food. It's what we call shatkala, and pepper is the predominant flavor in it. So it's a very simple curry with black pepper and turmeric. For starch, because starch is the very Khasi thing, I'm just trying to make this into a crisp of sorts.
Thin.
That's you know, poha. What you have here is cooked rice.
Yeah.
That comes with the starch that comes with raw rice.
Yeah.
The thin rice paper effect will come when you're using raw rice. What you're dealing with is cooked rice. So, however, you can still make a crisp. You're using a silpat, it won't stick to it.
Yeah.
You can still make a crisp. But if you want it a wafer thin, like
No, I
what
don't-
comes on
I
on
don't-
top of the pressure cooker, it's not going to happen.
No, I don't expect it to be that thin because I know that there's not enough starch in this as like raw rice.
Have you considered frying the raw poha?
Yeah,
Like deep frying?
that is my
So
backup
it's
plan.
Good. Good.
That's my backup because that's another meal that we have of sorts to have with tea is fried poha.
Tanisha,
Yeah.
if I were you, I'd stop right now
Why?
because this is very salty, and when it
Very,
dries,
very salty.
it's going to become
It is?
even more salty.
Yeah.
Soak another one.
When it dries, it's going to get very, very salty.
Oh, yeah.
Always
I
taste.
went over.
We
Yeah.
saved you here.
Right?
The rest
Thank
of
you.
it better be amazing.
Always taste what you're doing.
Yes,
Good luck.
thank you. And I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, but it was such a blessing for them to come by right at that time before I put it into the oven because it would have gone really, really, really sea salty salt.
Hey, Juhi.
Hi, Juhi. Juhi, we just went over to Tanisha's.
Yes, chef.
We tasted something that was highly over-seasoned. She's changing it. My suggestion is taste everything that you have on
Yes.
the pan. If you want us to taste it, we'd be more than happy to.
I shall call you over if I need that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you, chef.
So it's been an interesting visit to the truck of Tanisha that I went to. She's really going for her heritage and her roots, you know, the Khasi cuisine, and she's trying to bring that out and really innovate it and present it in a modern way. And poha is something that she picked out, and she's trying to really make a crisp of it. And alongside that, she's doing a nice chicken and a nice Khasi curry, which sounds very interesting. I'm already salivating.
Yeah. What I personally think when we went there was that she might be a tad overconfident, because when you're over seasoning stuff, when things are too salty, it's usually a sign of overconfidence in a kitchen. I just hope that's not the case, you know, because she has a very good hand.
But on Juhi's food truck, I think she's doing something a little more safer.
Right, I like the sound of guava and chicken together. I just like the sound of it. I think it's one of those underrated fruits that hasn't gotten its due place, as I'd like to say, you know. Lobster and guava, classic combination. Seafood and guava, you know, such great combinations. It's just that we normally don't bring it into the kitchen. So anytime when you bring the humble guava into the kitchen,
Yes.
I'm excited, and I think she's doing a great job.
That's good. Can't wait to find out.
We had a little bit of fiasco picking up our ingredients yesterday, while till then Tanisha and I were supposed to be her team. But yet, you know, there are quite a few ingredients that I would have liked to pick up and deal with today as my dish. But I think my dish today is going to be completely innovative and nothing that's been tried before.
I am going to want to bring out again Khasi flavors and show that even a simple normal meal can look awesome on a plate.
This is the time for finishing. Take out the plate, clean it. Imagine your food on the plate now. Last 10 minutes, let's go.
I am not really happy with my progress because time is finishing and I haven't finished the main thing on my dish.
I shall stay more composed and make my...
There's no point looking at your watch because there's no time left. A minute to go, girls.
10 seconds of the ignition task of week 5 for the two of you. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands off the plates, please. Great job. Louis, Tanisha, time to taste it.
Awesome. Who should we start with?
Wait, Tanisha, do you want to tell us what you've made?
I want to bring forth my northeastern flavors. So my version of a home cooked meal. It's a very normal thing to have this what we call shatkala, which is just the turmeric, but the sauce is predominantly pepper based. So it's pepper and ginger. I rolled up the chicken with a white sesame paste inside and a representative of starch, which is rice. I've used the poha, flattened it, baked it in the oven to form that crisp on top like a net.
You know, Tanisha, if I may say this, the amount that you're expressing to us in words, we've never really heard you speak so much. So it's wonderful, and your plate actually shows that, and it expresses that. So, well done.
The way you've described it has gotten us really excited to taste. But we'll go to Chewy first and ask her what the dish is about.
I've made spiced chicken on, there's some cheese on it as well. Poha citrus mash, and that's a spiced ginger guava sauce with it.
All right, let's do the tasting. Let's start with Tanisha.
Yeah. It has an amalgamation of very interesting flavors that I'm personally alien to, and I can see where you're coming from when it comes to your heritage or your lineage, and I'm really enjoying it. Love the black pepper hit in the sauce. I especially love the fact that you've gone out of your way to create a nice crisp with the poha. It's very, very clever. I just wish that you had perhaps seasoned it a little better. I know that your first one was over seasoned and this one is under.
Oh,
And
okay.
thank you so much for that segment of orange. That really just cleans my palate and wants me to go back inside.
Thank you.
In terms of textures and technical things that you've done on the plate, you've done a nice roulade, which have you steamed it or poached it and then seared it?
Yes, I cooked it first along with the curry, and then I cut it and caramelized it before putting it on the plate.
I would have liked it a little more spiced, a little more seasoned. But I think the curry balances it out, and I'm glad you gave us some extra curry.
Thank you.
Nisha, the chicken, for me, is the hero of the dish. Very, very well executed.
Okay.
Okay. The curry, the black pepper coming through, very well balanced. So one thing is for sure that sesame is your magic ingredient, right?
Yeah.
And you should hold on to it. Keep some in your pocket. Okay.
Juhi, pretty looking plate. Love the colors. You know, you've got the nice bright orange and beautiful color on the chicken, and you've got a nice neutral base along with it with a contrasting plate of black. Did you use fresh guavas?
I used fresh guavas. I tossed it in butter and flavors, and then later I put juice, the guava juice, to add the sugar because I had no sugar on the truck.
Right.
So that's the only time I used some guava juice. Otherwise, it was just fresh guavas.
What a delicious sauce. I mean, it's really zingy and it's delivering the big guava message, you know. And it's such a nice combination with the chicken. So very clever, very well thought with that. Loved it.
Juhi, it's a complete dish in terms of putting a mash and a chicken and a sauce on the side. I think I'm really missing some nice root vegetables or even some greens, which would have, you know, just elevated the dish. But the sauce is really well balanced. I'm also a little unsure about the poha mash.
Chewy, very, very tropical. As far as the mash goes, did you add orange zest into the mash?
Yes, chef.
Okay. Now, yeah, I mean, a lot of times, too many bold flavors in a dish sometimes don't really work. You need one subtle, understated flavor. Probably the mash could have been that. Both of you are even Stevens. The rest at the judgment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Drop Zone welcomes you yet again. You know, sometimes I think Fem Foodies is a game of dice. It's like a game of Ludo. These twists and turns are relentless, aren't they? But trust me, they'll only make you stronger. We want you to be able to face all and any heat that a professional kitchen can throw at you.
Ladies, this is not an elimination challenge, so there is hope. So 3 of you will be coasting, and 3 of you will be going from the frying pan into the fire.
Akanksha and Megha, please.
Megha, great dish, but probably a little too complicated. Akanksha, great dish, but probably a little too simple. Thank you. Ipsita, tried to make a sushi, didn't really go your way, although the flavors were excellent. Chitwan, the jala roti was the star. But could the chicken curry stand up to it? We'll find out. On one side, Tanisha, we had a poha that was made into a nice crisp. And on the other side, we had a poha that was made into a nice filling mash. Which poha won the battle?
Tanisha, Ipsita, and Akanksha, please step down.
Vision, technique, and expression. That's all we were looking for. We were looking for a dish that would make us feel that this was week 5, that we've moved on. As simple as that. Tanisha, Ipsita, Akanksha, please get ready for the next task. You're taking on the next task as cheerleaders, because you're safe and coasting.
That was a sigh of relief for me, and it felt really good to be able to compete with a strong competitor and be able to surpass her flavors on the plate.
Juhi, Chitwan, Megha. Honestly, I did not expect to see this combination here. But you know what? The kitchen fire never lies. Remember, this is Fem Foodies. You cook solo, you serve solo, and you survive solo. Well, there are times, aren't there, when we have to fight solo in the kitchen or in our lives. Let's see what surprises are in store for these gorgeous ladies right here on Bertolli Presents Fem Foodies riding on Suzuki. We will see you again very soon. Take care.
morning.
Hello. Megha, Chitwan, Juhi, you're lucky that the previous challenge was not an elimination challenge. Your journey at Fempuris is still on.
However, to move ahead, you have to squeeze your way through.
You have to tom-tom your juicing skills in order to survive.
When life gives you tomatoes, you make some juice of it. Ladies, welcome to the 10-minute Tomatina tightrope.
Chitwan, Juhi, Megha, you have at least 10 kilos of tomatoes on your tables. You have to squeeze and make juice out of it. You must carry the juice in your t-shirts and fill the beakers kept on the tables on the other side. So juice, that's right.
I was actually glad that there was a task or one element planned where we were not being judged on our skills only, our cooking skills only.
We don't want any lumps or pieces. It just has to be pure tomato juice.
The person with the most juice in the beaker after 10 minutes will be safe and coasting. The two of you who lose out and are unable to match up to the quantity of the winner will be one step closer to being burnt. However, it's a fun task. And we have your friends to cheer for you.
Ladies, Living Foods does not endorse any food wastage, which is why these tomatoes are 4 days old and completely in an unusable condition. Just thought we'd let you know.
So we thought that this was going to be the elimination task. And it's really awesome that it's not and that we actually still have even one more chance after this. More than that, I think it's just a super fun task and a super fun way to use up old tomatoes. And no wastage is something that I'm all for. So I'm really excited about this task.
So after I heard what the task was going to be, I was a bit relieved because it sounded fun. And at that point, I just wanted to have fun.
Good luck. Here we go.
Woo! We had to take those rotten tomatoes, smash them with our hands, put it in our t-shirts and take it across to puree them without any pulp or big pieces of the tomato.
Yeah, squish them hard, yeah. Use both hands, nice. Good going, Joey, good going, Joey. Straight it on the
Well
bowl.
done, Juhi!
Nice.
You're going good!
Good, Julie.
Good, Megha!
Good.
I was the one who was supporting Megha because I knew I wanted her to be safe.
Girls, 4 minutes up. You only have 6 minutes.
Chitwan and Juhi is real close.
10 minutes looked like a lot, but when we actually got to it and we thought about it, it wasn't enough possibly to fill that jar.
All right, Chitwan, you are 50 ml ahead of Joey, 50 milliliters. Joey, you need to catch up.
And don't waste the pulp, Juhi. Use the pulp. The pulp has got the juices.
Megha, go for it. Go, Megha. Go, Megha.
Go, Megha!
It was fun. We used little leaves as little pom-poms. We were like, yay, come on, squish it harder, go for some more, go back, run back, you're almost there. Come on, Megha, come on, Chitwan, come on, Juhi. It was to and fro, but it was so much fun, and we were like, yeah.
Go, Juhi! Run, run, run! Go, Juhi! Don't waste those juices.
Juhi, you're 50 ml behind. You're 50 ml behind. Go, squeeze it hard. Don't break the beaker.
Yeah, don't drop the
Chitwan,
beaker. Be careful.
good job. You're 50 ml ahead. Megha, you need to squeeze more, catch up.
Don't waste this, okay? Just try and
Go,
squeeze as
Chitwan,
much.
go.
It's going to be easier to put your weight on this side.
All right, now Juhi is 50 ml ahead.
Oh my God.
Juhi is at 150 ml now. Chitwan, you gotta amp up.
I started to squish my tomatoes. Both Chitwan and Megha were sort of struggling with how they wanted to go for the tomatoes.
2 minutes left.
I specifically picked up the most rotten tomatoes out of the lot, even though they were stinking, because those were easier to squish and had more juice in it. So I picked up the rotten tomatoes, started to squish as many tomatoes in one go. I toppled the bowl and I ran. And once I got there, I squished as much from the t-shirt. In the first go, I didn't have to use the strainer because the t-shirt was still clean.
Come on,
Be careful, Juhi. Be careful, don't spill. If you spill the beaker very close to finishing, it does not count as an effort, Juhi. Be very careful. Chitwan, Megha, do not spill.
Careful.
So the last 2 minutes, I did not make any run. I just stood there, the tomatoes left on the table, had left a lot of juice, kept picking it up, kept straining those, and that, I think, worked in my favor.
Ladies, last 10 seconds of the 10-minute Tomatina tightrope, and here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's been a tumultuous 10-minute Tomatina task. I'm proud of myself when I say that, but now is the time to see, measure, and announce the winners. Can we have your beakers, please? But before we go ahead, I have to say this. The three of us, thank you for being such an awesome sport. You guys made our day. You had so much fun. We really, really enjoyed it. And I think all of you, a big round of applause. All of you deserve a big round of applause. Thank you. After all fun and games, there's only one winner. But before we do that, let's check for and lumps. Oops. All right, let's measure it. Megha.
Megha, you have about 1,700 ml.
Juhi, you have, it's a 2-liter measuring jug, and you're at least 200 ml over it. So 2,200 ml approximately.
So Chitwan, you've got about 1,900 ml.
Ooh, closer than it seems, huh? Well, tomatoes don't lie. So Juhi is the unanimous winner of the 10-minute Tomatina. Moral of the story, Juhi is safe in coasting and she can now join her other friends. Chitwan, Megha, one of you is one step closer to the finale week, and one of you is one step closer to being burnt. We will see you soon at the task. Take care. All right, ladies, here we are at the end of the 10-minute Tomatina tightrope walk. We have 4 contestants who are coasting for now, and we have 2 contestants who are fighting to stay in the competition. Well, let's start with the 4 of you. Winners always get good surprises. So we have a good surprise waiting for you. Go have a great day. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Bye.
So the safe contestants went off and we saw this black cloche in front of the judges. So while Chitwant and I awaited for what our task would be, I was thinking, what is under that cloche?
Chitwan, Megha, this is the perform or perish moment. You're now one step closer to being burnt. After this task, one of you leaves Femfuries forever, and one of you drives on, but only till the next pit stop.
For one of you, this could be the last task on Femfuries. So ladies, you need to take a pause here. You need to look back and see what worked for you and what didn't.
Did patience and planning deliver for you? Or was it inspired madness? What exactly are you good at?
I keep going back to my roots, which is Gujarat, and bringing in Gujarat in my dish somehow. So I feel good about that actually, because that is what the judges like. They want us to bring that in and elevate that.
Beauty lies in contrast. Beauty lies in expressing yourself through a combination of colors.
Only black ingredients.
Ladies, the black box sends its blessings in terms of beauty. And beauty today is black.
To be honest, I think black is a daunting color for a lot of us. To see a whole tray of black ingredients and a big black chicken sitting over there, I said, chalo, I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know what I'm going to cook today.
As you can see, all the ingredients are black. We have the black chicken, which is genetically black. Even the beak, the trotters, and the gizzards, the innards of the chicken are black. We have the Naga black rice, which is my favorite rice in the whole wide world. It can make for amazing savories and the most amazing desserts. And the stone flour.
There's some bajra flour, and you've also got black olives. So it's absolutely up to you in which way do you want to use them and how many of these ingredients do you want to use.
You can choose from beautiful sweet dates. You could use black grapes, you've got sultanas, and black lentils. So it's up to you to strategize and play to your strengths.
Have any of you used any of these ingredients? Megha?
Yep, I have used quite a few of these. Sultana, dates, black grapes, bajra, black rice.
What about you, Chitwan?
I've used onion seeds, grapes, of course, sesame seeds, bajra flour, and the dates. I have not used the black chicken yet. One point in my life, I did read about it, but that's about it. I felt that if I was able to cook black chicken properly, definitely there would be no match to it. But I really had no idea how to cook it.
Well, it's not so bad. You've used some of these ingredients, so you should be able to express yourself generously and joyfully on a plate, right? Right?
Yes, chef.
Awesome.
I was extremely nervous because I was like, what am I going to cook with this?
Ladies, you have 60 minutes to make your dish. It is an open but limited pantry, so you can visit it once at the beginning and once when we announce the 30-minute mark.
What happens is that we get too much at one time, and then we are a little bit cluttered. So I was kind of glad that I'd be able to plan better. Whatever I needed for the first 30 minutes is what I would get, and for this, what I needed for the second 30 minutes is what I would get once I went back to the pantry.
Ladies, your 60 minutes starts now.
Everything that was in the black ingredient tray was already, available to us. And I decided to use as much of that as I possibly could. So I picked up onions, celery, garlic, very basic stuff.
I decided to go with the dessert. So I picked the bajra, I picked the black rice, black sesame seeds, black grapes, black sultanas. So I've wrapped my head around it and I'm making a dessert. I haven't thought of the name yet, but I will think of one before the end of the task. I tried to infuse the best flavors together so it could bring out and complement each other. So I decided I'm going to go with sweet rice pudding with dates. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon in it. And I was going to make use of the bajra for sure. Maybe I'd make like a shortbread bajra crust.
I'm making a savory black rice pudding with a poached black chicken and perhaps some sweet potato crisps on the top. It's going to be a heavy sort of rice pudding, and the poached chicken is light, and the stock is also going to be used in the rice pudding. I had never worked with the black rice or the black chicken, both heroes of my dish, both first time. But I thought that day that I had been safe throughout the competition, and I wanted to do something a little riskier that day. That was my strategy, and I think the vision of my dish in my head was complete.
We always think of different colors on a plate. You want a little bit of red, green, and yellow, and you never really think of the black element on a plate.
I honestly wish I had that task. Right? It's so exciting, so many opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. And the ingredient choice that they have, you know, black chicken,
black eggs.
stone flour. I mean, where do you get a pantry like this to cook with?
So I think it's extremely unique, and they're lucky enough, even though they're not so lucky being from the frying pan into the fire. But I think as an opportunity, as cooks, as life lessons, I think this is a great one.
I was trying to cut the leg and the thigh together, which is how you do it in principle. When I had practiced cutting a chicken was a long time ago before I came. I sort of thought of it as something like swimming, something you don't forget once you learnt it. But when I was doing that, I really struggled with it. The way the black chicken was, the meat was so tight that I wasn't able to distinguish the thigh from the leg. It was like one long piece. So when I was trying to cut it, I was able to only cut the leg off.
I had put my black rice for boiling. I had started with my date sauce. I started with making the dough for my cookie with the bajra.
So you're quite like the cool cat, just quietly working your way through what's cooking.
I'm trying to stack cook.
Yeah, you gotta do that, especially with root vegetables.
Yep. So I'm making a sweet rice, black rice pudding with crispy base, sweet base. And I'm making a date sauce to go over it.
Now, the sweet paste that you're making with the bajra flour,
Yeah.
are you going to do a sablé, a crumble of it, or are you just going to bake it in sheets?
I'm going to make it like a
Cookie?
Like a cookie. You could say like a cookie, but a bit crisp because the rice pudding will be soft on it. So I want that crunch, and I will to garnish. I will do a little crumb as well.
Okay. The bajra short crust that you're making, don't make it too thick.
Okay.
Because bajra is chewy, it's hard. A very thick bajra cookie of sorts will not really taste nice on the palate. The texture is going to be a little off, but don't make it too thin because there's less gluten, it won't bind.
Fine. True. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Chef.
My first thing was to put the chicken on to cook. I did not know how long this gamey chicken was going to take to cook. We only had 60 minutes, and I wanted to ensure that every minute of those 60 minutes was used towards this chicken and making sure that it was cooked right.
Chitwan,
Yes, the chef.
what's cooking?
Chef, I'm going to make a savory black rice pudding with a slightly heavy one with some cream and perhaps a little cheese.
And I'm planning to do a poached black chicken with just a very basic celery, onions, garlic.
So when you're poaching chicken, it can boil, right? Poaching happens at 80 degrees, maximum of 85. This is boiling, it's not poaching, okay? When you're cooking chicken, you dress the chicken. By dressing the chicken, I mean taking this part, cutting it off, and letting the bone show, right? It's very important to French the chicken leg because it's just more elegant presentation and a nicer way to do it. Throw this in for flavor, but separately, not attached to this. Imagine this on a plate. It'll look very ugly. Right now, it's already cooking, not much you can do. But from the next time on, good luck. Savory black rice pudding. Love the idea.
The way the black chicken was seemed a little different to me because I was trying to make a pressure cooker out of it. You know, because I was thinking it's a gamey meat, black chicken. For sure, a pressure cooker will, you know, soften it, will moisten it. However, that was not the right approach. I should have poached it from the start.